Good afternoon. Before I begin, I would like to thank AVID Center for their incredible work these past 33 years, and to Mary Catherine Swanson for giving us all the vision. When our principal gathered a few of us together in the spring of 2007, I had never even heard of AVID. Little did I know how that 15-minute meeting would change my life and my teaching. AVID's kind of like a relationship. It's time-consuming, infuriating, exhilarating, exacting, and full of compromise and love. Nobody tells you this, however, when they ask you to commit to AVID. What we were told, that AVID was a daily college prep class designed to help students in the middle, sounded promising. I smile when I think about how naive we were. So a couple weeks later, 6 of us visited Evanston, Illinois, where we observed their AVID elective class. What we saw in Evanston solidified our decision to offer AVID at East. On the way home, the 6 of us discussed who might want to teach East's first AVID elective class. A window into AVID at East was beginning to open, but even then, all we really knew is that it looked like a lot of work. Approximately a week later, I was called into the principal's office. This is not a good thing for either a student or a teacher. I sat down to this question. Did the 6 of you decide who is going to teach the AVID class next year? When I responded with a no, he looked me dead in the eye and said, "You've been in here a lot this year, talking about what East can and should be doing. Put your money where your mouth is." I knew he was right. I had no choice. I was going to be the first AVID elective teacher in Madison. So we had 1 month to put together our first class, and we thought it'd be a good idea to do a freshman-sophomore blend. Not so much. We attended our first summer institute that year, so lost. What are these 11 essentials they keep talking about? Site plan? What's a site team? They have a curriculum for this? We were so lost that the AVID people decided to give us our own special guide, Marilyn Gilbert Mitchell. We are still grateful to you, Marilyn, for your support that first year and for the years after. So now Madison East has just finished its 6th year of AVID. We have seen 4 classes graduate through AVID and go on to college. And our latest graduating class of 34 has earned over $1 million in scholarships and grants. And still counting, by the way. This April, East was recognized as an AVID National Demonstration School. And AVID is now in all 4 of Madison's comprehensive high schools and all 11 of its traditional middle schools. Additionally, we have forged a remarkable partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, with whom we are able to impact more lives than we ever could alone. Madison and East is grateful for the community support we receive through the club and other nonprofits in Dane County. So, what have I learned in these 6 years? I have learned that changing the culture of a school is hard. I have learned that the change has to come from the kids themselves, from their questions, requests, and expectations of us, their teachers. I have learned that AVID has the ability to not only open kids' eyes to the world beyond their front door, but to open teachers' eyes to just how far a kid can reach, given the right tools and supports. And what have I seen? I have seen a French teacher become excited after his first philosophical chair. I have seen kids get excited by a well-deserved grade in a rigorous class. I have seen our school become a place where career and college readiness is not just a catchphrase, but a goal and a purpose. AVID did this for Madison East High School, and it can do it for any one of your schools. Since we started AVID a little over 6 years ago, East is on its 4th principal, Madison is on its 4th superintendent, and our state is on its 2nd governor. So it sounds like some of you may have heard what happened in the state a couple of years ago, when about 100,000 teachers, union workers, and their supporters gathered together around the Capitol to keep our right to collectively bargain. So when I had to decide whether to walk out in protest or stay in the classroom, which is really an agonizing decision for someone who has always wanted to be a teacher, I only had to think about AVID. A big part of AVID, as you all know here, is it's about teaching students how to advocate for themselves, to stand up for what they believe in, how to be resilient in the face of obstacles. So how could I preach those skills and not practice them for myself? I was at the Capitol then, when our district was closed for 4 days, while my colleagues and students alike carried signs, chanted, and sang songs of solidarity. And while we lost that fight, the education and spirit those events instilled in me and my students will never be forgotten. Now, with Wisconsin passing statewide vouchers and cutting funding to public education, there are more battles to fight. Fortunately, my students have shown me how. I know I'm not surprising anyone here when I say that being an AVID elective teacher is hard work. I'm also not surprising anyone when I say it's transformative. Until AVID, I never had to edit a paper on my iPhone while sitting with colleagues over dinner. Until AVID, I never had kids texting me that I still had not entered their scores into our grading system a whole 5 hours after they had turned it in to me. Kind of create monsters a little bit with AVID. Until AVID, I also wasn't truly, deeply aware of just how strong and determined our students are in the face of enormous barriers. In the next 18 months, many of my first AVID students will be graduating from 4-year colleges. I can't wait. Thank you.